Good afternoon. I have the day off, so I'm coming to you a little bit earlier than I normally do. It's just after 2 o'clock. As far as I know, we didn't really have any issues this morning overall for people out traveling around. The big story, of course, this morning and again tomorrow morning and again Sunday morning will be the low snow levels. So a little show and tell. Wine country and the hills up in elevation generally got covered. This is Domain Serene Winery out in the Dundee Hills. This was Willamette Valley. I just checked, and at this 2 o'clock hour, there's some traces around at Willamette Valley. That's on the hill just south of Salem, but pretty much mostly gone along some of the other metro hills. So it was a morning thing. Temperatures have warmed up, and then it started to melt off. A couple more pictures to show you. This was this morning. Cliff Gavick sending this in from Sandy, and they got a pretty good bit, it looks like, right? I mean, it looks to be at least a solid dusting to an inch up there early this morning at 1,500 feet right now, and I'll show you a picture coming up, which is above Sandy. Nothing is sticking, and there's just some snow showers in the air. And then this was cool. This was yesterday. Carl Shelby grabbing this shot of hail covering the ground up in Astoria. So this was the cold air behind the front when we got into scattered showers Thursday afternoon, and the colder air coming in, increasing instability, some sun mixed in, and pop. You had one heck of a hail shower. I mean, that is all ice on the ground, no snow. And again, that was Astoria yesterday afternoon. So that's always, if you've never been in one of those hail events that just absolutely covers the ground, it's really quite the experience. Again, that was up in Astoria. All right, so where were we this morning? I think a lot of you at least saw some snow in the air if you're looking out the window today. I know we did up here in Vancouver. I've seen other reports of, yeah, it was snowing. I've had people say the snowflakes were really big for a bit. And remember, almost always, when you have snow in the air and temperatures are pretty close to 32 or just above, the water droplets are big and the snowflakes are huge. I mean, that's when we also get chunky rain, right? People talk about the big water droplets. So those big water droplets turn into snowflakes, or it would be the other way around. The snowflakes would melt into big water droplets. Then you get the great big snowflakes out there. But this morning, I mean, Vernonia 33, these were not the official lows. I just grabbed this mid-morning. 33 Wilsonville, 38 Portland. It looks like most areas this morning stayed at 33 to around 36 or 37. And it was, if you look, southwest wind, south, north, southwest, north, southwest, mostly a southwest wind flow this morning. It was also just above freezing overall in Gresham. There's Sandy, though, where they had some snow sticking at 32. Estacada likely had some snow on the ground, 32. And we likely had snow on the ground up in Vernonia, where it was 33 degrees. Expect similar temperatures again overnight tonight into Saturday morning. And just a quick reminder, I showed this to you yesterday. This is about as cold of a batch of air as we can possibly get this time of the year. It's near record cold in terms of what the high temperatures are going to end up being. Again, the normal high for today's date is 58. I've bumped today's forecast to 46. We're getting some decent sun breaks out there. But the record cold, the coldest high ever on today's date, 45 back in 2018. So again, that's what I mean when I'm saying this is kind of record cold territory for being as cold in the afternoon as we're going to end up being. And we won't be a whole lot warmer out there tomorrow. Tomorrow's record is quite a bit colder, though, so I don't think that's in play. All right, this is the new satellite picture. It looks an awful lot like the one I showed you yesterday. Kind of this thumbnail, this little protrusion of cold air coming out of the Gulf. You can see the speckled nature of the clouds. That's a scattered shower pattern, all feeding in with a west to northwest wind flow pattern aloft. And now that we're getting some sun breaks out there this afternoon, that's simply going to fuel the possibility that we'll get some heavy downpours and some hail mixed in. Then once the sun goes down tonight and we get cold, then we'll start opening the door for a snow mix all over the place. Once again, not much change in our overall weather pattern tomorrow through Sunday morning. What else have I got here coming up? Okay. A reminder, if you are traveling, just check conditions. Winter storm warnings continue. The Weather Service, I'm talking for the Coast Range and for the Cascades, the National Weather Service locally has extended those warnings through 5 p.m. tomorrow. Certainly expect snow-covered roadways up in the Cascades. And I would say expect at least some icy conditions with snow on the roads overnight, early morning in the Coast Range. But I'm going to show you in a moment. Temperatures have risen quite nicely up through 1,500 feet this afternoon. and you find improving conditions. Here are those highways. So right now, the Coast Range, this was 135 this afternoon at 1,400 feet. This was pretty snow covered this morning, but now it's above freezing. ODOT's got the roads in pretty good shape. You can see the snow roadside. Probably still seeing some snow showers falling, but not melting at this point. That could become snow covered again tonight. This was that camera I mentioned up in Zigzag, 1,400 feet on Highway 26 above Sandy. Again, snow on the ground, snow showers in the air, but for the most part, the roadways and everything are getting slushy with the ground temperature likely above freezing. And then you come to the higher country, and this is a snow-covered mess. And it will be this way tomorrow. It will be this way into Sunday for the Cascades. Current temperature is 26 degrees, absolutely buried under snow. All the Cascade passes look the same, by the way. Winter storm warning, again, at this point, up through Saturday afternoon. So snow levels, I'm looking forward to not showing you this map, but for the time being, it's still in need, right? So at the lowest, we were around 500 feet. Now we're bouncing up to more like 1,000 to 1,500. We'll do that again tomorrow, 500 feet, maybe lower in the morning, and then bounce up to 1,000, maybe 1,500 feet. We'll do it again Sunday. And then we're out of this, and we start to see moderating temperatures the first 2 weeks. There's Monday up to 3,000 feet, and there's Tuesday snow level up to 3,500 feet. We do have an interesting weather maker coming up, though, next week, potentially. So that brings me to this map. Okay. This is the European upper level model. This is tonight at 2 a.m. I selected 2 a.m. overnight tonight because it shows this developing low in the flow pattern, just kind of developing and sliding right down near us to just north of us. It makes sense that wherever this cold low is, if it would come a little bit south overnight tonight into our area, there's probably a cold pocket underneath it, and it basically would heighten the chance of temperatures being 32, 33, 34, with all snow in the air and maybe a burst of some snow showers that would produce at least some dustings to an inch of snow at the lowest elevations. May or may not happen, but this heightens the chance of that. Now, the current track keeps that more north, actually keeps the center of it just pretty much near the Kelso-Longview area. So, and again, we talked about this yesterday, that the dark colors, that's just what they call vorticity. It's kind of energy coming through the atmosphere. The main jet stream continues to be down to our south, but there's reason to still think it's worth getting up early tomorrow morning, looking out the window, seeing what's going on, check the weather. Maybe some areas do have some early morning snow with some icy roadways. And this is what I alluded to a moment ago. This is Tuesday at 5 a.m. This is going to be a big story again nationally. We're talking for California. So the contour line at the center of this low is 522. That's crazy low, crazy cold, crazy deep for this time of the year. This develops quickly and deepens. So this is what you hear the media now referring to as bomb cyclones. It's an old meteorological term that the media's kind of fallen in love with over the last year or so. But when you get these really deep lows that quickly develop and quickly deepen, then that's what that term means, bomb cyclone. I believe there is a definition of it. It has to deepen by so many millibars to classify. But this thing really comes together in a hurry. Now, it's going to be a strong system pushing moisture again midweek upcoming into California. Let me go back. Well, hold on. I forget how touchy the screen is sometimes. But what it will do to us is it'll kick an east wind in. So Tuesday has the potential of seeing gusty east winds here locally. Has the potential of us getting caught up in this cloud shield with clouds rotating up from the south and back in from the east. And if we get thick enough cloud cover rotating around low, we could have some precipitation. Models are kind of all over the place as to whether or not we get some moisture out of that system or we don't. If we do, it wouldn't be much. The bigger story would probably be the gusty east winds for a day or so. All right, so just kind of recap and I'll let you go. Saturday, Sunday mornings. So 2 more mornings to watch potential showers overnight that could produce low snow spots. Anything early morning would quickly melt away as daytime temperatures lift. If you're up in the hills, maybe you pick up on it. We saw what Sandy did, pretty solid coverage. But again, that's melting during the day as well. Wind direction continues to be from the west. So just overnight, early morning, we'll keep an eye on things. Still have the storm warnings up for the high country. They've already picked up, last I looked, it was a couple hours ago, they had 8 inches up there. So they could definitely pick up the 8 to 14 today, already 8 inches at Timberline and Meadows. Not as much tomorrow, but still healthy, 4 to 6. It's now Oregon spring break, remember. And then Sunday, much calmer. Anything Sunday, I think, that accumulates snow-wise is pretty much in the early morning. Sunday afternoon potentially gets partly cloudy and turns out to be pretty nice. And then we have these snow chances Monday afternoon to Tuesday that are just chances right now that may or may not come true. Here's Portland's 7-day. So we're on track to be in the mid 40s today. We'll be similar tomorrow, mid 30s at night, maybe freezing, that watching that one low, but 46 in the afternoon. Sunday, the last morning, we're really going to watch for the potential of some snow. We warm up to 49. And then finally, Monday, we're back up into the 50s. A shower chance, but a day that potentially could also stay dry. And then Tuesday, I talked about that low, throwing clouds up into us and the gusty east winds. And then look at this. Wednesday, Thursday of next week right now look to be really nice. Sunshine both days. Anytime you get sun this time of the year now, unless there's something crazy going on, we're pretty much going to be up into the 60s. And that's what I expect for a couple of days next Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. I always like to thank you for watching my videos and using my weather forecast as guidance. And I always like to remind you to please tell your friends, spread the word, have them hit the subscribe button. That way you get notifications when I post. And with that, I will bid you a very nice Friday afternoon and a good weekend upcoming.